For a long time I didn't draw live, or I didn't share videos which are not time-lapse, and a lot of people ask for normal explaining videos. So here I am again. My name is István. I'm a graphic designer and design teacher, and I'm in love with Inkscape, and I teach it in Udemy and on my site and everywhere on Skillshare, and time to time I'm making YouTube videos like this, usually about my projects for fun. So yesterday evening I made this sketch about the fox and the cat, and the fox is the warrior and the cat is the mage, you know, typical fantasy warrior setup. Before we start, I have to explain something about sketches. I'm very keen about sketches. I love to sketch, but usually I don't work them out like this much. I know artists who draw sketches like piece of arts already. I mean, they can sell it after drawing it. For me, a sketch is just a little placeholder. I sketch something, so my idea goes from my head, from the thought tornado which is always in my head, from all the ideas bouncing around. I pick the best ideas and I put it in front of the paper, in front of me on the paper. So from the head to the paper, that's the sketch. It's not a piece of art. Now I usually just sketch a few thumbnails, but now I wanted to make a proper one, or a better drawn one, because I really like the shapes, how they flow, and the tails of the clothes and the capes and all the stuff. And I will redraw this sketch in Inkscape. So if you draw something by hand, just snap a photo with your phone. This is not scanned or anything, not high quality, I don't care about that. And just redraw it. And with sketches I'm also very easygoing. I'm redrawing it very, very easily. So I do something and I do the sketches, and I start with the sketches and I redraw it very, very easily. Which means a sketch is not chiseled in stone. I can change the proportions, the shapes. A sketch is just an idea. For now I try to follow it. I follow the parts which I really like. For example, the fur here. And I just took the pen tool and I click around. I just click where there will be breaks. To have the basic shapes. The cat and the fox, I don't need a stroke. And I make it semi-transparent, so I see what is under it. I zoom in by the control key and the mouse wheel. My mouse has an issue, it is double clicking sometimes, I have to do something with it. Sometimes I am double clicking, sometimes it's doing it on its own. So yes, a lot of people are also asking what type of tablet I use. I don't use a tablet. With Inkscape, and this is what I really like, you can draw wherever you are. And because you just need a simple mouse. I won't say a touchpad. I could draw with that as well, but that would be a huge pain. But buying a digital tablet for vector drawing, if you are using like me, like modifying basic shapes, you don't need one, so you don't need a tablet. If you like to draw with the pencil tool, you do a lot of freehand. I know some very good artists who do. Then yes, you can buy a tablet, but it's absolutely unnecessary, I think, for simple drawings. Because why a vector graphic is becoming detailed and nice is that you adding details by bending the lines or adding new and new vector objects to create shades or highlights or little details. So you don't have to fiddle around with a tablet to create the basic shape like with the pencil at the first time. You don't have to get it at the first time. So what I did here, I just put up the shape very roughly, very, very roughly. And then I just bend the nodes with the node tool. Okay, this part won't be visible because here will be the nose, and that will be another shape. This is a trick I do. I double click to add some nodes and I delete the end node. This is how I make something from pointy to rounded without using without losing the original shape. So it's pointy but not that pointy anymore. Okay, I have the basic shapes of the fox, of the head. Let's go detail in the body. So why the cat and the fox? It is simple. My wife is the white fluffy cat and I am the fox, and this is what she always tells me. So yeah, we grew into it. We have a Facebook page, the Cat and Fox, and we have a web shop where we sell our graphic design, and that's the printedfox.com. So we like cats and we like foxes, and I had this idea for long because I was playing some very good video games lately, some very good designs, and that inspired me a lot to create the cat and fox in a fantasy setup. And because she loves fantasy. I like fantasy too, but not as much as Erika, my wife. What I do here, if you see, a lot of times I just click on a node and it becomes a curve. I control click the node. It's the same thing, you can do it up here, but I just hold the control key, I click on the node and it's becoming curved. And I just play with these legs, the node handles. Okay, and I like this. Okay. Let's play it. Let's make it a different color so I see where the shirt is. And now let's do the shoulder part. I finish it here because I will draw the gloves separately. So the idea was that the cat is a mage and the fox is a rogue, or somewhere between a thief and a warrior. So not this big warrior. Yeah, the fox is always cunning. If I would draw a big warrior, it would be, I don't know, bear or something. If you know the video game called Armello, that had it very nicely. And recently I was playing Stories, Path of Destiny. That's a great game. It has a great art book. If you don't like video games, just check out the art book because it's a huge amount of inspiration for character design and background design. I mean, that game was amazing. I really liked it, and mostly the characters and the story I liked. Gameplay wise, it was, you could just bash around. I cheated here a bit, so this is what I said, that what I do is not always like the sketch, because I gave him some more knuckles. Point them forward. But I really like this. I really like this band, so I will keep this one. Okay, let's make the trouser, and first the belt. Here will be the belt buckle. I give them colors just to separate them, just to know how it will look more or less. I don't care much. And I still work semi-transparent. And as you see, when I was sketching, I drew this line and then I erased it, and then I was doing different things. But here I will just draw the blade over it, so it doesn't matter if it's erased or not. And what I will do here, I make the blade black so I see. What I will do, I will draw it not with the lines, but I want to take care that it's parallel. On my sketch it's, let's say, more or less parallel. Okay, much better. With Shift Ctrl C I make it into a shape. I deleted this node, so it already became this knife shape. And I deleted this one as well, so this blade shape is still parallel with the upper one. I make it long, and I make this shorter. So these two are still parallel, that's the whole point. Okay, just for now, just this much. This will be the, I don't know, cross iron, I think. This is the name in Hungarian, but I am not sure. And this is the pommel. It's more of a dagger than a sword, or a very short sword. And this will be behind the hand, obviously. Now, okay, I save, because I do that a lot. And I do the same thing here with the glove, so it will be over. I'll make it this dark brown as well. So what I will do, I just draw now and I figure the shapes. I make pointy what I want, I keep curvy what I want. Here I just make the nodes closer. So I have the shape I wanted. And it's nice, this is bending upwards, this is bending downwards. It's like where I see the glove from. You get me? It's like an ellipse, but we see only this part. So that's it. And now I make the legs. Same goes here. I deleted some part. This was a double click I mentioned from my mouse. Okay, and let's make this green as well. Looks like a pajama now. He looks like what is it? Robin Hood a bit, but I will change the colors later on. Whatever will fit him. Obviously the fox will be this red, brown, rust color, orange, some yellows here and there. So that's his fur color, which we only see actually at the feet and at the big tail I will draw. Oh, this turned out very fluffy, I like it. As you see, I have little details, wrinkles and cuts on the blade and this and that. I drew them, but I want to fix the basic shapes first and see what I did. And then I will add, like the nose here, like the eyebrows here and the details and the hairs. So first I want to get both characters right, shape-wise. So back to sketching a bit more. I like sketching because it gets the ideas out of your head and you can have some very nice shapes. But on the other hand, I like working in Inkscape because you can play with the details so much and you can totally reshape the character or your drawing after that. I mean after you finished. Like now I will change this node, and here I have a toe. I change this one, and here I have another one. This one is perfect. This one I keep it like this. And someone said how I do the nodes is impossible. No, it is not. Come on, it is practice. So whatever you want to do, you just practice. I'm thinking on creating some Inkscape bootcamps. So if you are interested, let me know. These will be online courses, but made all about practical knowledge of designing characters and designing stuff for 2D video games. So mobile games and things. So if you are interested in that, just give me a shout. Page down, I put it behind. Just thinking the reason I didn't draw live or give out long sessions, because this is not live, I record it now and I upload it. So in live sessions you could ask on the fly. I'm sorry about that, I couldn't set this up for a live session. You know, after Christmas it's a bit busy. We have friends with family times. But now I have some free time and some will and some relaxation on my own, so I could draw this. I will record it and upload it. But why I didn't draw this longer thing and explain is, first of all, I'm doing my online courses, and second of all, I started to teach graphic design in a college, and I really enjoy that. I really like to be with the kids in real time. I mean, they are adults, but they are still very young and they have a lot to learn. Some very talented little folks. It sounds like I'm very old. I am not. I'm 34. Will be 35 soon, but I always think I'm very young, and then I meet these kids and they are like 18 and 20, and Jesus, they have so much to learn, and I really hope they will. And it's a great feeling that I am one of the mentors they have to make them ready for the world of graphic design and make them ready for clients and using the softwares and being and staying creative as much as I can. So I love teaching and I love drawing. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked a bit. So what I'm doing here is hard to explain. I mean, I explain it all the time, but it's all the same. I'm just drawing nodes. So I have a shape. Now with the page down, page up, I put it where it belongs. Just have a simple shape, as with the legs and everything. Now with Ctrl 5 on the numeric keyboard, I see the outline. This is what I drew so far. Not very much, but one of the characters is set up. Now I could make the head bigger, make it smaller, change the proportion, change the body, but let's finish the cat as well, the cat mage, and then I will take and duplicate the drawings and take it away from the sketches and draw and add the little details and fix up the coloring. But now I just take care that whatever I draw is following the sketches. So let's do the little cat mage. She has a hood, which I paint to purple now, just to see what I do. And you see I deviate again from the drawing. So why I like Sketch is because a lot of time I draw Inkscape I miss the dynamics. So with the pencil it's good and dynamic. I can do it almost the same in Inkscape, but sometimes I miss it. So that's why I was making a proper sketch now. You see, because of this line. To do it from head, do it by heart, when I'm drawing on the fly, it's a bit heavy. So I keep this almost cornered. And again, just roughly following the shapes. Oh, it's even nicer like that. So there are some accidents which are working out. Okay, let's do the ears. Cat will be blue. Just for now, before I find the color. I was thinking to make her black, like, you know, dark magic and stuff, but actually no. I really like the white cat idea. And when I'm sketching, I'm already thinking on more or less how I will color it, obviously, and I am not relying on drawing the line art. As you see also now, I use it as a shape. I have some very nice lines here and there, some good details, but I only use it as a tool to shape my drawing. And later on, I rely on color and on contrast. So if this will be dark purple, deep purple, so if it will be dark purple, then the cat in the white, it's a very nice contrast. And the same here, I will draw a cape, it will be very dark, and the dress will be lighter, but the very light will be the hand and the tail and the feet. So I play with that a lot to create contrast. Contrast is one of the biggest tools we have to lead the eye of the viewer. So color, contrast, like black and white, like dark and bright contrast, and composition, obviously. I might be recompositioning this one, I will see. Recompose, yes. Okay, now what I draw is the little fur. Holding the middle mouse button so I can pan, which means I can move the view a bit. Nice. So I had a big shape, which will be the cloak, and the cloak is behind, or the hoodie, and that's behind. And what I have now is in front of it, the face. So I draw the face on it. Square it down very much. And here I just follow this line. So again, how do I know which node to pull? it's obviously I pulled this node to shape this line, this curve between these two nodes. So I pull this node handle to bend that one. But sometimes I also do mistakes, but it takes a lot of practice. And then you will do the same. You just realize, okay, I pull this string and this will happen. So if it doesn't happen first try, and at the 5th try and the 10th or the 20th, it's okay. I don't know how many times I did this. I'm using Inkscape now for almost a decade. I really like it. I developed a lot, and I stopped, and then I developed again. So it's a lot of good things, but it all comes from practice. Okay, again here I have the basic shapes. I made this brooch and I made the headpiece. I will draw them separately and insert them. And now again I am just focusing on the main shapes. I really like it that I made this from one curve. That's very, very dynamic. Here is one trick I always realize. I always use, and I realized it early on. The less node a curve has, so if I don't break this with different little nodes, the less points it's standing, it's built up from. So the less nodes it has, the breaking points it has, the natural, curvier, more alive and more dynamic it is. So remove everything, all the little bumps which are unnecessary or not adding to the drawing. Obviously it's different here because I want to create fur on the head and here and there, but here on the arm, or everything which is smooth, is just so much better when you make everything from one node. You see, it's the same nice bend here. Okay, what I do now, I fix the cape a bit. I can even put it behind, so it's fixed itself. Okay, like this. Now the cat's dress is much less detailed, but it's still more dynamic than the fox's. And it will be, I think, purple as well as the cloak, but I will think about it later on. It can be dark blue. Let's make it dark blue. So this will be behind. I don't care about that. This will be behind the arm. And I just bend the nodes like crazy because I want to create the shapes I had sketched. And it's too long. Okay, here I'm not very satisfied, but I will take a look later on. Okay, good. I'm changing the nodes by control clicking them. So from edge to curve again and again and again. Okay, this will be behind the leg, and this will be, yeah, it's good, and this will be in the front with home. Okay. Fix the bottom part as well. There will be a little different detail here, the edge of the robe of the mage, but still. Now I'm adding the feet, very simple one on purpose, very cartoon, because I want to keep it very cute. The fox I gave a stronger one, the cat I will give just a very simple drag, and it will be very smooth. Now what I am missing, if you see, is that this line is going this way and the feet has to bend more to follow that line. No, I removed it. Okay, I keep it that way. So I deviated again a bit, but it's nice. I only have to create the face, tails, this and that, and then I can remove my drawing from the sketch. Finally. It's always good to see. Just going around and creating the cape. This will be a big dark backdrop as well. As you see, I just click. So this is one big thing I do. I just click, which means I am not creating all the curves and everything on the fly. So I'm just creating straight lines and I bend them. So I just click, 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 and I click where I think there will be a bend, and then I control click again or bend the curve itself, like here. Or for example here, I just made an edge. I control click on it, add some more nodes to create this tear and hole on the bottom of the cape. Let's do the tail. Sometimes I have to add the node to create the perfect roundness, but still I keep it quite simple. So I only add the very needed ones. I'm just figuring out the thickness now. I don't like it that it's so thin here. It's not like that. It's supposed to be the same thickness all over. Still very thin here. Okay, brilliant. And I save. Control S, hit Control S all the time and save. I see a lot of posts in the Facebook group on Inkscape Draw Freely. There is this Facebook group. And I see a lot of posts about that I was just drawing and my drawing disappeared and Inkscape closed. That happens sometimes, occasionally. And you just should save or set up in the preferences. You can set up autosave. I don't have that set up, but I save a lot with Control S. I just hit it when I find the shape. I just hit it when I duplicate something, or before I want to copy something. So before something could happen and crash my computer, I save. Okay. Oh, am I gonna keep it like this? And here I put a magic stone. So I made the stone red just for now, just so we see. The stone will be behind the handle, so this one is over it and is grabbing it. And this one is over it and grabbing it. That's fine. Actually, not this one. So whatever is not over it has to be aligned to the edge. So I add the node here and add the node about here, and this one will go behind it. I just delete this node. So you see, this one is forward, this one is backwards, and here is my stone. I merge this, Control plus. And I made a stupid mistake, because this stick was longer than it's supposed to be. So again, Control plus. Yay! Good. So this is what I have now. I have the basic shapes. I can refine the heads and put here and there details and make them bigger, make them smaller. I am thinking to make it more dynamic, make this tail bigger, turn it more, but we will see. We will come to that. First of all, I want to add all the little details I had in the drawings. I really like the stitches here, I really like the scratches, the wrinkles on the clothes. I am not full of myself in this. Okay, I might am. But with the pencil, I was just very relaxed and easygoing. And usually I draw by computer. And I really miss the pencil a lot of times. I have some students who always just want to draw digital. And I always tell them, no, it's not a good idea. So I draw two circles now. Control minus, or path difference, I cut it out, and here I have a ring. And I also, another double click, and I also will cut out some parts. And again, Control minus. And I have the ring. This part is coming and this part is disappearing behind the ear. That is fine. Let's create the eyes. Just 3 dots. This one I, with the control, I create, make it different. I also like the nose shape. It became very aggressive. I will make this nose so pink. I mean, it's a white cat with a pink nose, but he's tough, or she's tough, you know, I think that's funny. And I'm making characters for games, for like lately I just drew a couple. You can check that video, that's my video before it. I like to think about stories, so I was asking also the couple, like, what do you like? What do you like to do? And they said, going outdoors. So I was coming up with a story that the boy is going front and pulling the girl, or the opposite, or what do you want? And they said, yeah, that's fine, the guy is more adventurous. So I made up a story, and I don't even share the story. I mean, it's just a story helping me to draw what I want. Same with this one. See, I didn't do a simple line for the mouth. What I made, yeah, maybe it doesn't have to bend like that much. Okay, scary enough. Now this is the place where I can play. I duplicate it, flip it with edge, and put it here. And I can put it thinner, thicker. And it was the same, but I changed it a bit. And this will be the eyes. Set clip. I just duplicate it, Ctrl D, select the eye, set clip. Okay, I have to draw the headpiece and some other details, this fox, and I really like these things. These little shadows I drew, where the knees are. Super dark blue. Okay, yes, it works. And here is one more shade under the belly. So these are the hard parts, because these are just very thin lines with a pencil. It's like I'm not even thinking when I draw them, but now I have to figure it out and make them shadows. And here, and I'm thinking to make now I duplicated this one, selected both, and with Ctrl star, okay, I didn't duplicate it. So I duplicate this one, I color it yellow so you see. So I have a blue one under it, and I have this yellow one, the new one. I select the shadow I wanted. With Ctrl Shift I select the body shape and the shadow, and I hit Ctrl asterisk, Ctrl star, or path intersection. So this one, path intersection, and as the little icon shows, it will cut off where the two objects meet. This made me happy because it's cutting off exactly where I want, so it will follow the edge of the clothes. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, we have to draw the clothes. Okay, also these ones. Oh, you can keep the yellow. Ctrl minus, and I will cut these off. just draw whatever shape over it to cut it off. And I take care and I bend it to the arm. Here it's good. Here it needs some adjustment. Okay, a very slight curve, but it still works. So Ctrl minus, ta-da, I cut it out. And now I duplicate it. And I make it smaller. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't look perfect, because it will be under this. So now I have the bracelet. I will work on this separately. I can add a little detail here. Okay. So we are getting there. As you see on the outline view, the green one is showing the clip mask. If you have any other question, please ask in the comments under this video. I try to help. Or check out my courses, where I explain this a gazillion times. Okay. So let's figure out the eyes of the fox. I will just make them triangles. That would be so cool, but no, I want to shape them. I flip it, duplicate it, and I hide it here. I made this arrow here slightly visible, that I should make the eyes lower, or put them upper here. No, it's somewhere in between. Okay, this one is behind the nose. I do the same, duplicate, set clip, duplicate, set clip. Why I use clip? Because if I want to move the eyes, I can go into the clip and I can move them. So I can remove the clip and I can move them if I feel like right now that it is not looking where I want him to look. So I remove the clip, release the clip actually, I move the eye slightly, select them, set clip. So it's much better than cutting this time. And here are the eyebrows. As you see, I moved the eyes down there, so I moved the eyebrows as well. I want him to be angry or cunning, a bit, both. Okay. I will figure out these lips later on. teeth, tooth. As you see, English is not my native language. I am Hungarian, and I really hope everyone understands me. If not, ask. Do my best to draw, think and explain both in my native language, and I really hope you appreciate the effort, because some people are telling me my English is not perfect, and I tell them, okay, let's do something like a draw and you explain at the same time. Okay, this is one shape. It's just roughly a shape following the tail, like a piece of the tail fur. It's just make it fuzzy. It doesn't matter if it's not connects. Okay, I have that. I want the stitches, and I want the clothes to have the same bands and everything. Let's make them some dark gray. Just control click here. And the same here. So the base of this doesn't matter because it will be behind the gloves. It's just some wrinkles I want to do. Yeah, this is nice, this is nice. I have to figure this out later on, how to make this visible. And this tear in the clothes. And this will be orange. Okay, I really like the little earrings. They will be golden, but whatever. And let's give some more hair. I'm doing these drawings, I'm very curious. I just want to see them finished. Like I'm so much anxious, or like, what's it called? Excited rather than anxious. So it's a good anxiety. I'm excited to see them finished. I want to see the final touch. I want to see the final drawing so much. That's why I draw them, because it's an urge. I want to see the final drawing. Okay, we are there more or less. Eyes are there, little details I will add later. I just need the brush and I just need the headpiece, and then I can color everything, but those I will do separately. So for now I saved, with Ctrl D I duplicate it, and I make everything 100% opacity. So this is what I have now. It looks very weird, but it's getting there. First of all, this one has to be a different color, so it has to be darker, so I see what I do. A darker purple. Yeah. But more or less I have what I wanted, so that's good. If this is the color of the fox, now what I will do, I will color. I will make it bigger, I will make it different, I will make it more visible, simply by coloring a lot. Can flip the gradients, much better. I duplicate this and I create the nose. Control asterisk, and I make it brown, very dark brown, almost black. Okay, these are as well the lips, so this will be this color. Put it under. Would put it under if it let me. I reshape it a bit. It's a bit of fighting with the gradients, but it will be fine after all. So I just pick a color which is around. Why I don't use gradients going to 0, so total transparency, is because if I want to print it, Inkscape has this weird thing with the PDF export. It's not always perfect. So I just keep it as simple as possible. Let's make this tooth a bit yellowish. Okay. Want to make these a bit orange. Nice. I merged these hairs together. Maybe I remove this. Yep. Okay, I will add some details later on. More. Maybe it's better if it's darker. Okay, let's figure out these colors and colors. I pick the same color and I make it darker and brighter, and that's how I make the little wrinkles. Here it will be even darker. Duplicate, select both, I might just keep it that color, and I add different type of shading here. Like this is darker. Now I duplicated this arm, put it under the original, and I twist it a bit. I page down, I push it down, and I shape it perfectly. Control asterisk, yay. Nice. Page down, and it's under the gloves. The nose I want still brighter, because whenever I look at it, it's just not enough. That's the whole point, make it more visible. I make this white because it just scares me all the time. This one will be also white later on as the arm and the tail, but to do that, Ctrl G, page down. So what to do that, I need to give a background so the white parts will be visible, but that's later on. With Ctrl G I put it down. Well, what I want to do actually is duplicate this arm, cut it half, Ctrl minus, and draw the part which is visible of the stick. Now I select the stick, this thing I drew above. With Ctrl minus I cut it out of the stick. So here it is, it was just a bit inside. So this is the separated thing I drew. So just you see, I select them, Ctrl minus. And now if you see, the stick is cut. Let's make some colors. I made the color wheel big. I pulled this part down and it's huge and I really like it. I can make it even bigger, I think. Yay, I really like this. Because it's big, I can see in the wheel what I want, I can pick these colors. I always say to my students, online actually, that everyone is afraid of picking colors and things, and I'm like, there are 17 million colors on a normal computer nowadays. So this means you have huge amount of colors you can play with, a lot. Okay, it's nice. This one I want darker. No, darker than this. Perfect. mix the colors. So I hold down the color picker and I mix the colors so they are closer to the original color of the textile. What I do now, I want to give a little edge to the clothes. I make it orange so I see what I'm doing. I duplicated it, I duplicate it again, make that yellow, whatever color you really want. Make it bigger, move it over, rotate it, play a bit. I do this because I want the same ripple like on the clothes. Okay, here I can make it bigger, it doesn't matter. And I will use Ctrl minus or path difference to cut it off. And now I have this edge on the cloths. Now one more thing I want to do is to give a gradient to this, because I really like it's dark, but it could be a bit brighter. Even rather a bit. Oh, nice. The only thing I'm not sure about is the white in the white with the eyes. Okay, but I will figure that out later on. But this one can go white already, I really like that. And this one too will be fine. Actually I can make the legs and the ears as well. And I will make a layer with a different background color. Now let's get back to the fox. Okay, I want this and this in one group. Nice. Let's figure out the color of the leather of the foxy stuff. More orangish. This one in the back has to be a bit darker slightly, because that's in the back, but not as dark that it's visible. And I see a mistake here. I don't want the hand going behind the cape. Okay, what I can do now and what I will do now. Let's see, I picked this one up. This one is nice. So the fox is separate, yeah? And this is what I said when I said that I can move the characters and change them from the original plan. It's just this stupid double click again. As you see, I'm also suffering with tools. You are not alone in this. So I moved them closer to each other and I rotated a bit the fox. What I will do now is I make the tail huge, because that's a fox. You can grab this, the axis of rotation, the center of rotation, you can move it around. I will keep it like this, but it will be much bigger. See, it's much bigger than on the original. She has the cape, which can be as well a bit bigger. Now let's have some fun with the shading. Control L, I smooth it out so it is not that shaky. I pick the dark color from somewhere other place, some other place from the cape. I duplicate the cape, select these both and Control asterisk again. So this made some nice shapes here, which is like the different bands and shadows on the bottom of the cape. Can make them even bigger here. Generally make them bigger. Okay, we do the tail, not that one. Add some other colors here and there. I am not sure about the eyes of the cat, maybe they could be bigger. No, still not sure. We'll figure it out. Legs are fine, arms are fine. I have to add some brightness to the stone. And let's do this tail very much. This will be from this orange to a darker shade. See, I try to pick the same shades I created, so I don't have a million ones. Just a few. Now I duplicate this and let's create the white part of the fox. I mean the fox's tail, which is not actually white. It will be, I think, the same color as the tooth I made, this yellowish white. Like this, yeah. Some patches of white. Add this to the original, Control plus, duplicate the tail and Control asterisk again. So it is now darker. I promised it will be this color. And on the bottom more like almost orange. Now it's good. One more little detail. I want to add some. Oh, I duplicated it already, nice. So I will add some shadows as well here on the bottom of the tail. Let's see how that works. This one I don't even need. Duplicate the tail, select this, Control asterisk again, and then I make it this dark. Or a bit less. like this. Let's make the blade nice gradient to almost white from a lighter gray. Now let's make this gray as well, obviously. Okay, now I duplicate it, make it almost white, because that will be the blade edge. Duplicate it again, make it whatever color I want, move it a bit, and that will be the, this is how we create the edge. Control minus, and I have the edge. Nice. So it's almost white. What I do here is I will add some shine to the blade with Ctrl L. Go back, make it simpler. Yeah. You can select nodes and make them curve by this. Just select them and use that icon. With this shine here, the metal has this bit of crude, hammered feeling to it. And what I really like to do with blades, let's give them another shine. Ctrl D. So I move it a bit, and this will be, no, not good. I know how I do it. I cut it first with path intersection. So I have the whole thing. But here, because it's broken, I mean because it has a different angle, so because it has a different angle, I will duplicate this. And I go to path, division. Division will cut it here. And I can move it around. Select these nodes and these nodes. No, only these. So I can grab one node of these and move it around. And again, duplicate the base and cut it off. And duplicate the base and cut it off. Control star. I might even don't need this, just this one. Okay, that's nice. Now this one has to be front, so it's in front of the hand. This one and this one has to be a darker color. Okay, I like it so far. I make a separate layer, add layer under below the current one. I'm gonna call it background. Shift Control L, I'm open the layer tab. This is the drawing. As you see, I rarely use layers because I really like how Inkscape is grouping up everything, and for me that's not very well organized to use layers. But what I do here, I add this as a background layer and then I close it. Why I close it? Because if I want to draw something here, I am not accidentally selecting the background layer. And here I see the eyes and the head and everything of the cat as well. So yeah, this is it so far. I will add some more details and slowly wrap up the video because I think it's already very long. But I will add some details, the headpiece and this and that. But we started from here. This is the original drawing. Then we added the colors and everything and created the basic shapes, and now we are coloring, and now we are adding more and more details. What I will figure out still, because I'm not using outlines and I will use outlines for the eyes as well, which I have to figure out still, is how to make the cat eyes visible. So it will be also something like this. Is the shadow of the cape. So I duplicate this, Control Asterisk, I have the shadow, with page down I put it down, and I make this one white. White is good that it's visible, and I will make the same here. But I think just like this. I will do the opposite around the eyes. This was a nice drop shadow, but here Okay. Let's see. I might lose some details. I might. I merge these together. So I might lose some details, but I don't know that one. Come on. I try to shape it as it is. So this was a challenge for me. As you see, I'm a professional illustrator, yes, but I draw because every drawing is a challenge. When I feel like, yeah, I can do this, why would I draw that? I challenge myself. On the Inkscape group, I'm always posting daily challenges, which means challenge yourself. Do challenges, guys, because this is how you grow. So I don't say it's the best solution, but so far I'm satisfied because I could give that the glove, or what is it, cloak, is casting a shadow here. And because of that, the cat looks much better because the eyes are white. Could be gray because it's in shadow. If it would be totally realistic, it would be nice to be, you know, the eye is never actually super white. If they make retouch a photo and make the eyes super white, that's very weird. But here on an illustration, it's totally fitting. Same little shadow goes here. And I pick the color for it from this level. So I pick the color from around here, here-ish, yeah. Or it could be actually under the nose. Yeah. Or I just add the little things I wanted when I made this. Much better. It's I'm continuing the muscle under the eyebrow, and that is giving the angry look. I will do the same with the fox. Okay, I just see a mistake here. Now it seems that I'm just jumping up and down. Don't get me wrong, I do that. I like to work on one part, I like to work on the whole image. But as well, I like to jump up and down and fix things. Like now I just saw these, now I just saw that. This one will be gray, making it silver, and this one will be sapphire. I don't know. My wife knows all the stones and everything. My brother as well, I mean. He is creating jewelry. But I don't know stones very much. So I just duplicated the shape, gave it a lighter color, and it's already looking like it's a gemstone. It's just a simple, very simple trick. I group it up with Ctrl G, put it down here. Okay, we are getting there. What I miss is that the fox's leg should be brown as well, because it's dark usually. So it will be, I just try with this color, but it has to be darker. And I use the same gradient, so I add the gradient and then I pick the recent one. So I make sure that it's the same color and the same gradient, and I don't have to fiddle with it and figure it out again. Okay, and if it's this one is like that, then the dark part is like this. I really don't like the gradient because it's very short here. Okay. This one I like darker. Oh, actually this one could be this dark, and this one could be, I don't know, something like this. Now I'm just making the image more contrast, giving it more contrast, because I really like the darkness and different colors on the mage, and the fox doesn't have that contrast yet. Okay, and let's give some weird pants. Blue ones, black ones, oh my god, that would be nice. Or very dark gray or black. Or actually leather. Leathery. Now I duplicate this and I cut it here. Just to make it slightly darker. I think it can be even more. Yeah. And then this one has to be darker as well. So you see, I pick a color and I arrange it to the colors around it. So it's only out of the picture when I really want it. It's only popping out when I really want it. Okay, I have the blade, I have everything. What I still want, I want some bruises on the blade. I duplicate it, I cut it out from the shine, from the edge, and I cut it out from the big blade as well. Now I select the big blade, I mean, which is not the sharp part. And I play with it a bit. This might be not even visible, but here it will be. This will give some thickness to the braid. These are so tiny details, but I really like it. Let's do this thing. I want it to be round and shiny. can be shinier. So this is the dark part and this will be the bright part. Now what happened here is like I gave it a nice gradient, but it looks now like a sphere, like a ball, and it's totally not looking like the drawing, the other parts of the drawing. So I'm just gonna pick this golden color here and I duplicate this, make the darker gold I want. I duplicate it again. And Ctrl minus. No, because I didn't duplicate it properly. Like this. So it's more simple. So if this is the shape, I go back, what did I have here? Like an S shape. The two foxtails is just a little detail I want to add. I want the fox to have some tails here. So what I will do this. Oh, even better. So I want to make it that this is the upper shape, this is the downer shape. Okay, it might seem heavy, but this is how I work, so sorry for that. And I break it apart here. Path. Division. Now I have this part. Let's forget about this for a moment, the shine. Now I have this part. And I have this part. So just I see what I do. I duplicate it and take it out. And I merge these together. So this is what I have. Now I have this yin and yang thing. And what I want to do is make it a proper belt. I want to make it a proper belt and I move it a bit. Made a mistake here. It seems like there's a lot of nodes there, but I don't care. And I just put this under it. It will be dark. Okay, and I make this one the same bright one. And now I'm adding the shine. As you see, I'm again experimenting a lot. With Shift Ctrl C, I made it into a stroke. And now I modify the circle a bit. Perfect. I duplicate these, add them together, select my shine, and control star. Yeah, control asterisk. It's too shiny still. Okay, still. Looks like a tennis ball, looks like something, but it has some shine and it has some details. One more thing I want to do is add some shine over this shoulder. Which will be a brighter color of this, which is perfect here. As you see, again, I didn't make a new color, I picked one I had before, and that's still, I think, it's keeping the color clean and the drawing clean. Because here is a bend, I bend it like this, it's much more fun. I duplicated the blade, now I duplicate the leg, Control star, I pick this dark brown, page down, page down, page down, and it's dropping a shadow here as well. I think that's fine. Okay, I could even give much more detail. This remained on circular, so linear gradient here, and let's give it a darker shade. Okay, so I still have the darker shade here. Good. What I want to add is a bit more darkness here. So I make this darker. So it's dark on the black, on the back, and I make the stone shining red. Oh, some nice. Oh, this one looking crazy. Okay, it is shining very nicely, and now I add some shapes. This is a mistake I made. Ctrl G again. Okay, these things were not inside the group, so I was not inside the group when I was drawing. I copied everything now inside. This one I will turn to white, or almost white. Just flip the gradient. So the stone is like that. And one more little detail is this one. Or it could be that I flip the blur here. Yeah. Flip, flip, flip. And this one goes darker, obviously. Okay. And if this is like this, and here I duplicate this again. I cut it off. So what I did, I gave here a shine, that the dress is shining a bit. But the cape I will make darker again. It's too bright. And I will do the same shine on this one. This way it is shining nicely, and I do the same with the arm. A bit bright, a bit lighter, but still. Ctrl minus. And the same here. Mesh these together, Ctrl star, and I make this super pink. So it's reflecting also on the stones there, and here that's dark, but that has to be pink as well. Or it actually I pushed break apart, and that was duplicating it. What if it's break apart? It's path break apart. Now we're talking. And the gradient ends here. So it is dropping color, just not here on the back. I can add more details in the ears, really not much, because I'm drawing for very long now and I'm getting very tired. But I really like what I created. I'm really satisfied, and I really hope that you learned a lot today and you really liked it as well. Practice. If you want, you can copy it. If you do so, please let me know. I'm curious about what people are doing with my drawings. And as well, please follow my YouTube channel. Please follow my courses. If you have any question, just write me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it as well as I did.